Hello crafty friends, this is the Papered Chef here. In today's tutorial, I'm going to show you how to create a do-it-yourself gift template using the Brother ScanNCut. I will be using Brother Canvas Workspace to show you how to create these shapes, and then when you're finished, you're going to transfer this template to your machine and cut it out using Designer Series paper, and then you'll be all ready for several last-minute Christmas gift ideas. Okay, so what we'll be doing is this first shape here that I'm pointing at is going to be a Ghirardelli chocolate holder. The next shape I'm pointing at is going to be a nail file gift box. And then several other shapes are going to be used, like these two here that I'm pointing at, and these several smaller rectangles are going to be used for making Hershey nugget treats. And then this little rectangle here will be a stand-up box. It'll all make more sense once we get started, and I will be showing you some images so that you understand. Okay, after I created several swap projects last month when I went to Paris for an on-stage event with Stampin' Up, several of my viewers requested that I show them how to create these templates because they said, how did you create so many projects for craft fairs and swaps? I created over 130 swap projects and then another 100 or so for craft fairs, and they wanted to know how I did it. I said, well, I used templates with my Brother ScanNCut. Okay, so the first thing you need to do is go to canvasworkspace.brother.com. Don't worry about the rest of this address. You're just going to canvasworkspace.brother.com and log in like I've showed you in previous videos. After you've logged in, your username will be right here, and mine says Papered Chef. Okay, and then you're going to go to create a new project, and you will have a blank project on your screen. Okay, if you do not want to create all the same gift template that I'm creating, that's okay, because the same concept will apply no matter what projects you want to mass produce. Okay, the first thing you should always do is give your project a title, and I'm just going to say do-it-yourself template. Okay, you could say do-it-yourself gift template, and that's your title. And then we're going to go into basic to get our shapes. So under pattern, you're clicking basic. And we're just going to start with a square, even though I could start with a rectangle. I just like to start with a square, and then I can show you how to change the aspect ratio. Okay, so your square is blank in the inside, which makes it kind of hard to see. So first thing is double click on the square. I'm sorry, not just click on it, just to select it, see the dots around it, and go right here to show properties. Okay, show properties. And when I'm going to pull that off to the side. So show properties, you want to fill your square with black. Just fill it with black so that it's easy to see and easy to work with. Okay, now at this point you could try to resize it using the mouse, but instead I'm just going to uncheck this button called Maintain Aspect Ratio, and I'm going to go ahead and resize it using the dimensions that I will share. So this is going to be a Ghirardelli chocolate holder. My viewers are always telling me that I say Ghirardelli wrong, so it's Ghirardelli, the H is silent. Okay, so it's going to hold a big piece, like say you have a piece of peppermint bark, and that's really just amazing at this time of year, and you want to wrap it up really cute to give to someone as a stocking stuffer this holiday season. Okay, so this is the size of the template, 7.25 inches by 2.75 inches. Okay, so now you have, using one 12 by 12 piece of paper, you're going to be able to make a Ghirardelli chocolate holder on every piece of paper, so you'll be able to mass produce those very easily. So those are your dimensions. Okay, let me show you now so you have an idea of what we're going to be making with that, and I will give you all these instructions after you cut out your project. Okay, so, or they'll be in the description of this video. So I'm going to show you. This is using Santa's Workshop Designer Series paper. I created these Ghirardelli chocolate holders, and I will leave the link to my blog so you have all of these dimensions, and there's even a video on how to score and everything. So that's how you make those. Okay, so let's go back. We're just doing the template now. That's what this video is about. All right, so moving along, we have the next part of the next shape we're going to make is going to be a nail file box. Okay, so let's make So it's just easier, I say, to just click on this, which it's already selected. You see the little dots. If it's not selected, click away, and then click to select your shape. I find it's easier to just go up to edit and to just say duplicate. Okay? I'm going to duplicate the shape. I just think that's way easier than trying to make a new shape and resizing it. Okay, so now we're going to make the nail file box. In my video, I showed you a few different nail file boxes, but let's just say we're going to use a large nail file that you would get at Big Lots or the Dollar Tree or any beauty supply store. So a good size for that nail file box is going to be, let's go to properties, it's going to be 6.5 inches tall, 6.5 by 3.5. 3.5. Remember, if it doesn't look like that, my box when you're done, then maybe you have maintain aspect ratio checked. So you always want to uncheck that unless you did want a perfect square for some reason. Okay, so there's my nail file box. Now, in the past I showed you that I used, let's close this. I used the 3/4 inch circle punch when I made the little hole for where the nail file shows through. Well, instead of doing that, I just think it's easier if we make the hole or make the little half circle using the circle from the shapes. Okay, so let me just make a circle, put it out here, and I just like to fill it, and I'm going to fill it with a different color using the properties only because it's just so much easier for you to see and understand. So I'm going to fill it with here some lime green, and just so you can see it, and I'm going to maintain the aspect ratio. I'm going to change that to 0.75, and I'm going to hit enter. Enter means that it'll change the width and the height, so that's nice. Okay, now we can close that. So now, stick that little 3/4 inch circle right on top in the middle, right there in your template. Okay, but it's not perfect in the center. So let's select both by taking the mouse and dragging over both. You see how they're both selected? There's little lines around them both. They're both selected. And I'm going to go up to Edit, and I'm going to align them in the center. Okay, and that will align them toward each other. Okay, Edit, Align. That just means they're centered relative to each other in alignment. But I see that the circle is a little bit lower than I want it, so I'm going to nudge it up with my mouse just a tiny bit. So there we go. So I'm liking that. Now I'm going to select them both, and there's my circle. And what I'm going to do before I do it is I'm just telling you I'm going to take this circle and punch it through. I'm going to subtract this piece of circle out of my nail file box. So I'm going to go up here to Edit, and I'm going to say where it says Process Overlap, I'm going to go ahead and select this one, Subtract. That will subtract my circle away from the rectangle. Pretty cool, huh? So now we don't need the 3/4 inch circle punch, which is good because maybe you didn't have one. And we're going to go put that nail file box right up there next to the Ghirardelli chocolate holder. And now I'm going to show you that up here in the browser, that I did a whole video on how to make the nail file boxes and how to score them and how to glue them at the bottom. And those nail files, I said that they're really good price at Big Lots. That's all these pattern ones, or you can get the plain ones almost anywhere. And everyone loves these, like as gifts, stocking stuffers, craft fairs. They really love them. This is using Santa's Workshop Designer Series paper, but really you can use any paper. And I decorated the boxes with doilies and ribbons and twine, and there's instructions, and I'll show you, how to make those, or I'll just leave that link later for you. All right, so let's go back to our template. And I said let's make 2 sets of nuggets, Hershey Nugget treats. And those are the ones that have like wrapped Hershey Nuggets, and we make little toppers. It's really fun. Okay, so let's just to do a Hershey Nugget treat, let's take this rectangle and go up to Edit, and we will duplicate it 2 times. Or no, just once, because once, and then we'll duplicate it again once we resize it. I move it off to the side. My Hershey Nugget topper, this is the topper for the top of the candy, which I'll show you. And that's going to be, let's go here to properties, 5 inches. Let's uncheck maintain aspect ratio. It's going to be 5 inches by 2.25 inches. You could make it 2 inches because the bag of candy is only 2 inches, but I think by making it a little bit bigger, it hides the little cellophane bag underneath that you're putting your nuggets into. Okay, that's good. Now that I have the size I want, 5 by 2.25, and there it is right down there. You can see it in case you want to pause the video. Okay, then I can just go ahead and duplicate that. There. So now we have 2 nugget treat toppers. 2 because that's how many fit in this template. Okay, so now we are going to make some other things. We're going to make a box. Oh, first let me show you this. Let me show you the nugget treat holder that we're making. So let's see. This is a topper. Okay, that's, you take a little cute piece of paper and you fold the paper in half and you have a topper for your nugget treats, and then this is what the nugget treats look like. So here's what we're doing. We've just made 2 toppers. That's this green part here. Now we're making 10, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times 2. We're making 10 nugget wrappers. Okay, so then we're going to wrap the Hershey nuggets now. Make 10 of those. And then you would still need to make a little cardstock tray to hold your nuggets underneath. That's what you still need after all is said and done. But you can make that out of any color cardstock. So what I'm doing now is making what you would use your pattern paper for all these like do-it-yourself gifts. All right, so we need 10 little rectangles. So let's take this one. Let's say edit, and let's duplicate it once, and then we'll resize it, and then we'll make 10 of this. So we have a rectangle, but we need it to be for a Hershey nugget wrapper. So let's just go up to properties, and we're going to make it 1. Let's see. No, we're going to make it, let's see. It's going to be 1 inch by 3.25 inches. Okay, but we'll make some going some ways and some going other ways, but you know, and vertically and some horizontally. But that's good for now. So let's leave that off to the side because we're going to make 10 of those, and we're going to go ahead and make, oh, first of all, once in a while you should say overwrite this project. Now what I don't like about Canvas Workspace is they should just have a darn save button. It would make things way less confusing. But this is what the save button is. So really just overwrite this project means you're saving your project with all of your new updates. Okay, saving this project is complete. See that? Well, why don't they just call it save? What's wrong with using save like most other programs use? But that's my little rant for the day. All right, so now now that we've done that, I want to just go back to my projects and I'm sorry. I just want to open my other project for a second. Create new project. Create new project. We want to open here projects. I think I have to go back to here, Canvas Workspace, to this tab, and just open my project because I just want to show you where we're at here. My projects and the template that we're creating. Okay, because this is where we're at here, but this is what we want to create. Okay, and I'm just opening that up now, double clicking it. Edit this project. Okay, so I just want to show you how much stuff I fit onto my template, just so you can get an idea of all the things we're going to do. Okay, see, I'm going to make 10 Ghirardelli wrappers. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I fit 6 there. I fit another little box there that we're going to make, and then a few more wrappers, turn the other way, and a few extra circles and things like that. But for now, so far we have the Ghirardelli chocolate holder, the nail file box, 2 Hershey nugget toppers. I'm going to make the 10 rectangles, and we're going to make this box. And then all these other things is just extra icing on the cake. I just make extra little rectangles and circles to fill in my extra spaces because if I'm going to cut my template, then I might as well cut it all. Okay, so I'm going back to Canvas Workspace, and we're going to make the box next, the stand-up box. And it's a little box that I learned about when I was at the onstage event in Paris. Just edit this project. And I came back from the event, and I showed videos of some of my swaps because I made 130 swaps, and then I came back with all these little things. And there was this cute little stand-up box, and everyone's like, oh, how'd you make the little stand-up box? And I said, well, let me take it apart and see how they made it. So that's where I'm going with the next box. I'm going to show you that. So again, we're just going to duplicate. We will duplicate, edit, duplicate, and we'll put the little box over here because that's where it fits. And we'll resize it exactly in a minute, but I'm just kind of giving an idea. It was about 4.75. Let me just get close to that. by 3.25. Let me go into properties and then I'll show you what it looks like. So the actual size should be 3.25, 3.25. Oh, let's uncheck maintain aspect ratio by 4.75. Okay, and let's close that. Now we have a cute little box. It's going to be, it's a stand-up box. You need no glue. It holds a Hershey Kiss, and it's another great little thing that you can use last minute right now for your holiday projects in your little stockings. Here's what it looks like. I made an advent calendar very quickly, like in one day, for my husband, and he loved it. Although some of the boxes did pop open and the candy got everywhere, but it did pretty much stay together. I mean, these stay together pretty well. But I mean, I think in retrospect, I would have put the sticker over the closure of the box, and I would have added a little tiny removable glue dot under each box. But what's really nice is these stand up on their own, no glue needed, and they're super, super cute. So that's part of our template now. And I have on my blog all these dimensions of where to cut, you know, where to score, etc., etc. So these will be linked under this video again. So back to our template. So now we have the little cute box. Now we can put 3. Let's duplicate this. Edit, duplicate. Let's put a few nugget wrappers on the bottom. I remember that they fit, and that's why I had to go back and look at my template. I have loads and loads of templates, by the way. I always love using my brother's ScanNCut as opposed to my trimmer, my Stampin' Trimmer, because it saves me so much time for mass producing projects. Okay, so let's fit these all here. Nudge. Nudge just means I'm using my mouse, not my mouse, my arrows on my keyboard of my computer to just move things around. That's what nudging is. You're just moving things like a pixel at a time. That's all that means. Okay, so put some Hershey Nuggets down there. These are Hershey Nugget wrappers. Remember, I need 10 of those. But you always want to stay within these red lines, because the red lines for your brother's ScanNCut are where your machine is going to cut. So it doesn't cut quite out to the 12 inches of your mat. The cutting area is a little bit inside the mat area. Okay, now so we have our, let's make we can make another one here, another horizontal Hershey Nugget wrapper. Let's duplicate that, and we'll put one up here. And then I remember that a 1-inch circle fits right there. Hey, let's just do it while I'm talking about it. You know, you sometimes are like, hey, don't leave out any steps, papered chef. So here, you know, I can throw a circle over there and just kind of put it over here. This circle has no purpose in our template, by the way. It's just that we do not want to waste a good, let's make a 1-inch circle. We don't want to waste a good template. We have a template and we can use up every inch of it. So I'm just kind of showing you how I go about doing that. And I personally like to fill those with black. You don't need to fill any colors, because all you're doing in the ScanNCut anyway is cutting. You don't need to fill these shapes, but this just helps me see them. So there you go. See? Pretty cool. I'm just showing you that you can fill in extra spaces in your template. All right, so now let's duplicate and rotate him. So we're going to duplicate this nugget wrapper. Duplicate. And I'm going to just go off to the side, and I'm going to hold my shift key on my keyboard, because when you hold the shift key and you rotate, it rotates at 90-degree angles. So that's why I just did that. So I rotated it, and it didn't rotate willy-nilly all over the screen. And so I'm up to 6 nugget wrappers. No, I'm up to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 nugget wrappers, but we need some more. So we're going to duplicate, duplicate. I mean, I could use keyboard shortcuts. I'm just showing you, though. Just use the duplicate. All right, so let's go here, 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 and I hope I have enough nugget wrappers now. I needed 10 because we're making 2 nugget treats with this template. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We need one more. So I did fit one more inside this row. And all you need is a tiny bit of white space, and I can nudge them around to make them all fit. So let's just nudge, and I'm going to align those as well, just for good measure. All right, so we can fit one more in there. Edit, duplicate. And now, so any other things you put on your template are just like icing on the cake. You can use up every inch of your template. That's what I did. I added a couple little circles and rectangles just to have extra shapes. You make some tags out of them and things like that. And then sometimes just by aligning your shapes, like if I select all these, just these 5, or 1, 2, 3, 4, yeah, 6, these 6 nuggets, and I go up to the edit, I can align them. Let's just align them to the bottom. And that way, and if I nudge them around while they're still all selected, that way it makes it like I have more room here. I have more room to put another circle, like I could duplicate this circle. I have more room to create extra little shapes in these extra little spaces. Okay, but say our project is all done and you've added your last couple rectangles right there and you filled up your template, okay? Then you would say again, save, which is really not save, it's called overwrite this project. So you overwrite this project, okay? And now we have a Ghirardelli chocolate holder, a nail file box, Hershey Nugget 2 toppers, 10 Hershey Nugget wrappers, and a little stand-up box. Plus we have a couple extra circles to use for tags that we can, stamp or use as backgrounds for tags. And then we're all ready. Okay, so that's it. So now when you're all done and you want to cut them on your machine, you say download. And you remember I've told you before, we can download to our computer, and we can also download to a USB stick, or we can just use the wireless ScanNCut transfer. And in order to do this, your machine doesn't just need to be wireless enabled, you need to also have it wireless activated. Okay, so I can just transfer these files to my machine. Next time I turn on my machine, the right here, ScanNCut transfer is ready. I open up that template and I cut my template using, remember, a blade depth of 3 for designer series paper by Stampin' Up, or a blade depth of your choice if you're using cardstock or something else. So you would go to your machine and you would open this template up and you can cut it and you're ready to go. And then you're going to be able to make, again, chocolate holders, Ghirardelli chocolate holders, nail file boxes, whatever you want to make. I mean, whatever you make with your template. A couple nuggets, treats, and little stand-up boxes, which are pretty cool, or whatever you want to make with that template. So I just hope this got you a little more comfortable with, using the Brother ScanNCut for creating, for mass producing projects, especially to help you get ready for this holiday season. So here's a little screenshot of when I went to Onstage. I made 130 swaps. I made some with this Tranquil texture suite, but I also made some with the little piggy stamp set. Okay, so that just gives you an idea. So thank you for watching. Please let me know if you have any questions or comments, and leave that in the area beneath the video. And I will see you in the next tutorial. Happy holidays, my crafty friends.